I'm always quite amazed how children, they like it or not, but they don't care if it's Mozart or Ligeti or Boulez or something else. They just, have this feeling, and it's actually when you get older that you have this, how should I say, that you think that Mozart is supposed to be beautiful and Ligeti is supposed to be awkward. In these 18 études, what is amazing is that every étude is a universe, and every étude has its own problematic and its own little cosmos, where Ligeti tries to, as he always said, to solve one problem, and the goal is to go from something very simple to a huge complexity. Every étude is a new challenge for me, but also for the listeners. And it's really a kaleidoscope of all the influences and the inspirations that Ligeti has had in his life as a composer, but also in his life as a person. And that makes this music that fascinating.
Ce que j'aime dans sa musique, c'est son courage de rompre avec toute tradition. Et je ne connais pas un moment de sa musique où il fait un retour à ses ancêtres. Oui, il les a consommés, il les a utilisés toujours. Les ancêtres sont toujours présents dans sa composition, mais jamais sur le niveau de l'imitation. Jamais.
He never wanted to be part of a dogma. So every time that he would go into a direction, this direction would let him to ask other questions. And for instance, at a point where he went to Cologne, to the WDR studios, he was meeting people like Stockhausen and Boulez and Berio and Karger, so all the people around Darmstadt. And he didn't want to go into the serialism, and then he would somehow change the direction and meet the people from the neo-Dadaism in Düsseldorf that made quite a lot of happenings and were not specifically musicians. And at a point where people would write like really pointillism, he would write huge instrumental works like Atmosphere.
I had no system, I had no goal, I had one belief, liberty.
For me, the Ligeti's Etudes are really something unique also in my life as a pianist, because of course it's technically extremely demanding, but also musically, and it's long, it's difficult, and physically and mentally. And actually I would say it's a journey for myself as a pianist, but it's also a journey for someone that listens to this music.
Comment je peux produire des illusions musicales qui ont la même valeur, mais la même significance comme les illusions qui sont visuelles.
In Ligeti's music, the rhythm has such an important place, and this whole idea of polyrhythms, so many different levels of rhythms, and so it gives, I don't know if you can say, but somehow like a special groove, which you can also find in modern music of nowadays, so why don't try to listen to Ligeti?
J'utilise la technique des éléments, pulsations élémentaires ultra rapides africains pour réaliser des complexités rythmiques qui sont proches d'un inquero, mais avec un instrumentaliste vivant. L'interprète joue des rythmes différents en même temps, même des vitesses différentes. Dans l'automne à Varsovie, il y a des environs avec 2, 3, même 4 vitesses différentes.
Could people understand or not? I think, or I hope that people just are open-minded and just listen, and they don't need to like and they don't need to understand, but at least they need to have this open-mindedness that makes them listen and be intrigued. And then there can be a dialogue, and I think it's my job to give some keys how to dive into this music.
Si on me demande à qui je compose, je dis à personne. À moi-même, ça veut dire non, même pas pour moi-même. Je fais la chose parce que la chose m'intéresse, parce que j'ai le besoin intérieur de produire ces pièces de musique.